Hi guys, Yuki here with Seduce Me, the beach episode. So this has come out probably a while ago, but I didn't even know about it because apparently I've been under a rock for the past 5 days. Yeah. What a way to start fall with the summer episode, which is so far away now. It's cold now, so very cold. I had to layer myself with like a shirt and then a warm kind of sweater plus another jacket this morning, and I was still cold. But yeah, it'd be nice to have some hot chocolate right now, but I'm too lazy to go and get up and get some. Yeah, so I know probably everybody's already uploaded this onto YouTube. I don't know. I don't know where I've been the last 5 days. Just, I've just been trying to battle this sickness that's been trying to get me for the past few weeks. But it's like right in the cusp of getting me sick, but not getting me sick, and then me feeling ugh, and just wanting to sleep. But anyways, enough about me rambling. Let's just start on with this. I don't really know what to expect, really. I didn't really read much on it, but I know that there's 7 unlockable CGs or something, which is it's pretty cool. So we'll see how far we get with this, and then we will return back to our normally scheduled stuff. I'm going back to sad stuff with James, and then Eric, and then Sam, and finally Matthew. Oh wait, and we forgot Diana. Can't forget Diana. But yeah. Start. Chicago is, to me, the greatest city in the world. It isn't crazy crowded and has the sights of New York City and Los Angeles in a wonderful package. The historic buildings and events that are peppered through Chicago are to die for. There's only one problem with Chicago. We don't have a beach. We have a lake. If you're the type that loves to surf, swim, or do anything remotely related to a beach, you will not find that kind of fun here. While you could do all of those things in the lake, it's not suggested. The water here is either too cold or too filled with questionable pollution to even dare try. At least you could walk around it and hang out with friends. So when the boys suggested that we go to the beach during dinner cleanup, I was completely dumbfounded. I guess we're not time traveling. We're going with traveling through the speed of light. I don't know. Wait, what? Guys, you mean the lake, right? Oh, hey, look, they're back in their other clothes, I think, unless no, it's their same clothes. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm half asleep. That's what it is. I took a nap because I was having this really bad earache. So I was just took ibuprofen and just passed out.
No, miss, we mean the beach.
Woo! We haven't gone to the beach in ages. Can we go now?
Which one are we going to?
Oh no. Guys!
Do we have to? I got shit to do, you know.
You want a vacation too, Sam?
Get out of my head!
Guys! The boys all looked at me as I exploded, catching their attention. Why was it that every time I demanded their attention, I had to yell to get it? Nevertheless, I glared at the boys, not understanding where the idea of a beach trip came from. We were in the suburbs of Chicago, and there was no beach in any of the 4 corners of Illinois. We have a lake, not a beach. Where is this beach idea coming from? The boy stared at me with a long moment before James cleared his throat with an obvious smile behind his fist.
Miss, I'm suggesting a trip out of state to an actual beach.
Wait, what? How would we get there? The demon super speed? Travel? James adjusted his glasses with a smirk before walking around the dining room table and towards the lobby.
I can have a jet scheduled for us with a non-stop flight. Hawaii has good weather today the last time I checked.
Oh, me here thinking magic, and stuff. No, gotta be practical. I'd almost forgotten that James was the CEO now, so he had plenty of assets available to him. Still, Hawaii? That's like now 9 hours by plane.
We'd sleep on the plane. Duh.
When the heck will we leave?
It would be best to leave sometime very early. Remember time zones.
Right, they're like several hours behind.
I can schedule our flight for 7 a.m. We'd arrive around noon in their time zone.
So we're just up and leaving everything we probably had planned for the next day to go on a spontaneous trip to the beach. Alright. That's what I do best. No.
Excellent. I'll pack some food for us.
Woo! Man, I gotta find my swim trunks.
I'll pack the sunscreen. This will be fun.
Guess we're really doing this, huh? Damn it. Fine, whatever.
I stare as the boys quickly disperse to pack and prepare. Were they not going to ask me to come with? Oh, okay. As I thought that, Sam peeked his head back into the dining room, glaring at me with a raised eyebrow. How?
Hey, you gonna pack or what? You're coming too.
What? Me?
No, the other Anderson in the room. Yes, you doofus. Now hurry up. If you don't, we're leaving without you.
Wow. Sam disappeared beyond the archway, most likely to go off and pack on his own. I let the situation sink in. We were all going to go to Hawaii and relax on a beach. It was a real vacation. I would have been stupid to say no to the chance to get away for a day, especially to Hawaii. I instantly ran to my room and began to pack my swimsuit and essentials, preparing for a long trip there and back. Even if we only stayed for the day or two, it was going to be a fun vacation. When we finished packing, we could barely contain ourselves. We were checking and double-checking our luggage, excited for this impromptu vacation. Matthew kept packing and repacking things, indecisive about what he wanted to bring. As 6 a.m. rolled around, we gathered our things and drove by to a private airport, where James had scheduled a jet to pick us up by 7. By 7, we were on a jet and soaring through the skies through Hawaii. If only security check was that fast. No, you gotta be there 3 hours in advance. But that's just us public, I guess, wealthy ones of us. Or maybe you do, I don't know. The excitement of the trip had me sleeping through the flight, hoping to make time go faster. By the time I opened my eyes, I was being ushered into a taxi, and shortly we arrived to the sandy beaches of Honolulu, Hawaii. Wouldn't we have been going first to, like, a hotel or something to drop off first? No, okay, we're gonna forget that.
Phew! Look at that view!
Nice swim trunks, Matthew. I know. And here, like, I'm gonna just... They're all color coordinated. Nice.
Wow, that looks so beautiful.
I hope Damien has a good time.
It's just the beach.
Don't let anyone hear you say that, Sam.
Wow. I couldn't stop myself from staring at the view of the ocean myself. It was breathtaking to say the least. The air was fresh, and the view of the endless horizon captivated my senses. I took James's clearing his throat for us to break our attention away from the sight and look back to him.
Let's set up a spot for us to relax first before we enjoy ourselves.
With a nod from all of us, we set up a small area of the shoreline facing out towards the water. Our large purple and black beach blanket became home base as we settled down and took in the fresh breeze. Sam stretched out, letting out a tired yawn. That is one long yawn.
Man, how long do we plan on sticking around? We're not gonna splash and run, are we?
Well, James?
I've already arranged a hotel block for all of us to stay in tonight, so you're completely free to do whatever you like for the day.
Okay.
What? Really?
thinking ahead, aren't you?
That's our older brother for you. Always 3 steps ahead of the rest.
Come on, Sam. Don't be a killjoy.
Don't let him fool you. He's just as excited as we are.
Despite the quick glare in Sam's eyes at Damien, Sam couldn't help but smile and nod.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, it's been what? Half a year since we had a real vacation?
The boys nodded in agreement. Had it really been that long for them? Had graduated and the summer caught up to us so quickly that I barely realized how much time passed since the boys came to live with me. As I thought of it, a smile trickled onto my lips, remembering how close we had all become. I was especially close to Damien. I turned my head towards Damien, seeing him stare at the ocean's horizon. I couldn't help but wonder what was on his mind. Damien had become an interesting venture to explore, as he was generally the less talkative brother of the incubi, despite being human. But then how can he... No, he just knows his brothers. I was like, then how can he read Sam's mind? Huh? I found those facts danced around my thoughts in fascination. As I looked at Damien, he looked over and was surprised to see me stare at him, before smiling and reaching over, taking my hand. I blushed and smiled, giving his hand a squeeze. I began to wonder what we were going to do together. We could walk along the shore, swim and explore the depths of the ocean, maybe even surf. Anything was a possibility. Out of pure excitement, I tightened my hold on Damien's hand and pulled him towards the ocean, giggling a bit.
Huh?
Come on, let's jump in!
Wait!
I could barely hear him as we made our way towards the edge of the water. Before we could even touch it, however, Damien pulled my hand back and causing us to stop. Whoa!
Hold on, okay?
Gotta make sure there aren't any, I don't know, sharks around? I don't know. Damien, oh, what's wrong? Damien grimaced, tightening his grip on my hand as he looked down the sand and shame. Can he not swim? Oh no! Damien!
I can't swim.
Okay, I can't either. And suddenly I felt bad. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
It's alright. I guess I forgot to tell you.
Damien relaxed a bit before stepping beside me, looking out at the water. There was a form of longing in his eyes that made me frown, but a prick of curiosity tapped at my head. Hey, why don't you know how to swim?
Well, I guess the demon world is to blame. In the abyssal plains, we live near a place called the Decaying Sea, a cursed body of water that pulls anyone who falls in beneath the water for all eternity.
There's a little tidbit for
Yeah. When we came here, James and the others instantly adapted and grew to love the beaches we went to. I never really got over my fear, though, so I can't swim.
Damien pressed his lips together and sighed, making me frown a bit more. I really wanted to help him, and he seemed to be interested in at least wading through the water. With a small dollop of courage, I turned around and slowly walked back into the water, feeling the ocean gently wrap and dance around my feet while I held Damien's hand.
Huh?
Let's take it slow then. I'll help you through it, even if we just wade through the water. Damien stared at me in surprise. I hoped he was up for his courageous chance, but something told me that he would need just a little nudge. As his lips finally formed a loving smile, he nodded, making me giddy in joy. He slowly began to walk towards me as I led both of us further into the water. As the ocean caressed Damien's feet, he flinched a bit, tightening his grasp on my hand. However, he gulped silently and pushed himself further. I felt a bit bad, not wanting to force him into this, so I slowed my pace even further, eventually getting us to the deep edge of the water. The ocean, on the other hand, was an impatient beast. Oh no! Waves! I barely noticed the shadow hovering over us as Damien looked up behind me and suddenly became pale in fright. I'm sorry, Damien. This is not the experience I wanted you to have.
Wave!
I barely had time to turn around to see a gigantic wave cresting over Damien and me before feeling my incubus rush at me and wrap himself around me protectively. The cold, refreshing wave of water splashed over our bodies, making the warm air that followed after brush against our cold skin. However, we remained frozen at the event, caught off guard at the ocean's natural splash attack. I looked up at Damien and watched as he slowly opened his eyes, looking around in slight surprise. We were both soaking wet, but we were still okay, standing in the same spot we were in before. Gently standing up straight, I placed my hands on his shoulders and slightly nervous and worried about my incubus's mental state. Damien? A moment passed of utter silence as Damien seemed to take in what had just happened to him. We were alright and we were still together.
Oh.
Finally, Damien began to laugh. It was a sweet and joyful laugh, one that seemed to ooze with innocent excitement and enthusiasm. I couldn't help but start laughing myself. That wave was unexpected. Oh my god, so cute! And these are some really nice, like, CGs if you can ask me. Like, really good. Damien grinned at me before gently walking further into the water, gesturing for me to follow.
Come on! Let's wait for another one further in.
Oh! I stared dumbfounded. Where did this rush of courage come from? As if the ocean listened to my thoughts, a small wave gently pulled me forward, pushing me to the back of my knees towards Damien. I stared at the water before smiling. This swimming lesson would be fun. I would spend time with Damien, forging a new memory and helping him learn to love the water. The ocean seemed excited to have us, and I was happy to know we would have a grand time. I wouldn't have had it any other way. Aw, that was super cute. I guess we gotta go to the other guys. I guess Incubeach, hashtag Incubeach Boys. There's their, like, boy band group. Incubeach Boys. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna skip through this. Let me have a little save file here. Okay, that way we can return to that instead of let me go through everything. Okay.
Let's set up a spot for us to relax first before we enjoy ourselves.
Man,
I've already...
what?
That's our
Don't let...
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, it's been what? Half a year since we had a real vacation?
Oh, okay, let me just save here. That way we can get the full experience for everyone. Cool. Well, since we're going in order, I guess it's time for Jade. As I thought of it, a smile trickled onto my lips. Remembering how close we had all become, I was especially close with James. I looked over at James, seeing him adjust his glasses as they settled down on the blanket. He had stolen my heart the moment he offered his arm to me when we first met. I couldn't tell what was exactly that attracted me, but I was positive that his leader-like aura was one of the million reasons I fell in love with the demon. As I stared, James caught my gaze and smiled at me sweetly, making my face burn a soft red, and I looked away in embarrassment. Sam and Matthew turned to each other. Oh, you better not splash us! Don't you dare! And smirk at each other.
Race into the water, Runt!
No speed boost, cheater!
And off they went, bolting towards the ocean with bouncing strides across the sand. Eric and Damien laughed before looking to each other.
Can we go collect some seashells?
Oh, I love you, Damien!
It's like you read my mind.
Eric and Damien nodded to each other before walking towards a reef, focused on their hunt for seashells. I became determined to think of things that James and I could do. We could get a boat and ride across the water, or even just walk around the shoreline and watch the others enjoy themselves. As long as I was with James, I was completely okay. As I looked back at James, I noticed him sitting down by the blanket we had laid out and pulled out a book from the bag we brought along. To my surprise, it wasn't love and romance. It was a book with a blank cover and back. Is that like your personal journal or something? Don't mind me, just screenshotted every single picture I can get. Huh? James?
What is it?
You're just gonna read? James nodded, lifting his book a bit for me to see.
I started this a while ago and still haven't finished. I might as well finish it now that I have the time to.
I mean, it's nice and all, but I thought we were gonna do something fun together. I see. It seemed a bit boring. Why would James go through the trouble of coming to Hawaii then sit around and read? That made 0 sense. Seeing my confusion, James smiled.
You're wondering when I'm going to have some fun, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean... I bit my lip. I didn't mean to give my thoughts away on my face, but James simply nodded and laughed a bit, causing me to look back at him.
I plan to eventually.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit here and just draw on the sand with a stick or something. Eventually?
I mainly wanted to come here for them.
Well, that's really sweet of you, but I want to do something together. James's gaze turned to the ocean, causing me to look over and watch as Sam and Matthew race each other into the blue water, with Eric and Damien sitting on a rock nearby collecting seashells. There was a logic. He did it for his brothers. You knew they wanted to have a real vacation, so you arranged the perfect one. I looked to James to see him nod with a smile as he continued to look at his brothers enjoying their pills.
We may be adults, but I'm still their older brother. Whatever I can give them, I will happily provide.
Aw, that's sweet. Even if Sam fights you?
Even if he argues tooth and nail with me, I'll still take care of him.
That's so sweet. I smiled, feeling my heart warm at the sight of such brotherly love. I walked over and sat down beside James, staring out in the water and leaning slightly against James's side.
Love?
You're so sweet to them, you know that?
I'm glad you think so. I hope you will enjoy yourself too.
I nodded before letting out a sigh and becoming lost in the sight of the ocean. This place really is beautiful. I was happy to be by James's side, even if it was simply basking in the sun with a book. James seemed to take the hint as he softly let us chuckle out and wrapped an arm around me, kissing my temple.
But it is nothing compared to your beauty.
Okay. That made my face heat up. I became red in the face, pursing my lips at James as he smiled and hugged me to him. I love you, James.
I love you too.
My little vacation away from the world would be as perfect with him. Okay, you know what? I can't read today. My little vacation from the world would be, was perfect with me wrapped in James's arms, staring at a gorgeous ocean, enjoying the fresh island breeze. I wouldn't have it any other way. Actually, I kinda would. It's sweet though. Alright. Oh no. Go to start. Go to load. Go here. Yes. Okay, we're going with Eric. I looked over at Eric, watching him take a deep breath and release a silent sigh of relaxation. He was my second kiss, and he had claimed to all of my kisses thereafter. Oh, that's sweet. Remembering how we met painted a smile over my face, recalling his flirty and suave persona. Underneath the mask, however, was a man I truly came to adore. As I stared, Eric caught my gaze and smiled at me lovingly, making my face burn a soft red and causing me to look away in embarrassment. Seeing my embarrassment, Eric walked over and gently lifted my hand to his, kissing over my knuckles.
Princess, accompany me, will you? I'd like to walk with you.
Let's see what kind of crazy adventures we get ourselves into. I stared at Eric, feeling my blush intensify at his kiss, before smiling softly and nodding to him. A walk across the beach sounded lovely with Eric. Eric smiled and softly guided my hand under his arm, guiding me to a reef near the water's edge. The sand was warm beneath my feet, and the air brushed over my skin in a loving manner. Even as we teased the ocean's edge by letting our feet walk on the shallow shoreline, the clear water lapping over our toes, I could still feel the tingling heat from the sand beneath the soft brushes of the waves. Wow, that was a long sentence. However, feeling Eric's strong arm made me instinctively cuddle up against him, laying my head on his shoulder. It was so romantic to be on the beach with him. A perfect chick flick moment. Eric, feeling my embrace, chuckled and kissed my head, causing me to look up at him.
So, my princess, how do you like the view of the Pacific?
It's gorgeous. I've never been to Hawaii before, so this is a brand new experience.
Really? I'm surprised.
What's so surprising? Vacations are expensive. I've never had the time to really travel with studying and all. Eric nodded in understanding, knowing exactly what I meant. Eric learned of how strict my father was when he was asked properly for permission to marry me. I was shocked at how well they got along, but since Eric was an incubus, I couldn't be totally surprised with his charisma. I don't remember when he... Oh yeah, he did... Oh, it's been so long. Yeah, he did propose, didn't he? However, I became surprised in the moment as Eric turned and wrapped his arms around me, pulling me close to him with a smile. Eric?
You look so lovely in the sun, my island princess.
I stared at him, completely lost in the cheesiness of his words and the loving glimmer in his eyes. I felt myself lift the leg behind me, popping my foot off of the water below me and leaning close to Eric's body. Wow! You're too sweet, Eric.
I only speak the truth.
I smiled and wrapped my arms around Eric's neck, closing my eyes and leaning in for a kiss. I felt Eric step closer to me and lean towards me as well, making my heart flutter in anxiousness of the kiss. I knew it! We didn't expect what happened next.
Get a room!
Oh, you guys! Huh?
Gah!
I knew it! It was gonna happen eventually. All at once I felt a pair of hands on my side push Eric and me over. I quickly looked over to see Matthew and Sam, hands held up from pushing us from with evil grins on their faces as Eric and I fell into the water beside us. That was not... Wow! Eric and I dropped into the water and quickly shot back up for air, shaking out of the intense temperature shift. You jerks! Sam and Matthew laughed and high-fived each other before running off towards the other end of the beach. Puffing my cheeks, I looked back towards Eric to make sure he was okay. Are we gonna make a topic joke about him dripping with good looks or something? Eric stood up from the water and grinned at me, combing his hair back with his hand and drenched from head to toe. I had to admit, he was kind of hot to see him like that, but his smile made one grow on my own lips.
Well, that certainly didn't turn out the way I would have imagined.
As Eric began to laugh, I couldn't help but laugh along. Now that the rush of surprise had washed over us, it was kind of hilarious to know that our romantic moment was comedically ruined. It has to be a romantic comedy here. Taking the surprise moment a little further, I dipped my hands in the water and splashed it up towards Eric, landing my water attack perfectly.
Princess!
Gotcha! A smirk danced over Eric's lips as he wiped his face with his hand before he retaliated, making me release a squeak in surprise and cover myself from the water he shot towards me. I couldn't help but laugh a little harder. We had our entire lives to be romantic and cheesy. We were at the beach now, so we could have a little fun for that moment. My little vacation away from the world would be with Eric and me, laughing in the sun and playing in the ocean together. I wouldn't have it any other way. That That was cute. Alright, now moving on to Sam. Yes. I looked over at Sam, watching him stretch back and rub his neck. That mere action reminded me how ripped and strong he was, causing a red blush to cross my cheeks. Sam was my first kiss, and recalling the small memory caused a smile to grace my lips as I continued to gaze at Sam and his Adonis-like body. Sorry, didn't mean to put my mouth there. As I stared, Sam looked over before smirking and flexing his arms behind his head, making my face burn a deeper red, and I looked away in embarrassment. Eric released a yawn and sat down on the blanket, joined by James.
I think I'll just relax here for a bit.
I'll join you, Eric. I have a book I need to finish anyway.
Boo! You two are no fun.
I looked over at Sam, wondering what fun we could have on the beach. We could swim in the ocean, maybe rent some surfboards and wade in the water. If Sam knew how to surf, it would be fun to see him ride the waves. Or we can go get ice cream or something. That sounds fun. I grinned at the images in my head of things we could do, but then I heard Damien chuckle and walk over to Matthew while catching my attention. I forgot he was able to read my mind.
Come on, Matthew. Let's go get some ice cream.
Oh, I can also read minds, I guess. Or he can read minds. That's what I was thinking. So I guess he read my mind. Scary. No.
Ooh, sounds good. I could go for some.
Damon smiled at me before nodding, walking away with Matthew towards the small hut in the far end of the beach, leaving Sam and me alone. I turned towards Sam, seeing him watch his younger brothers leave before gazing at me with a simple smile.
Guess it's just us, huh?
I nodded before walking over and leaning up on my toes, kissing Sam's cheek. As I caught him off guard, I looked over to the side to see a building with surfboards on the side, most likely ready for rent. Oh, awesome, so we are going surfing! With a playful smirk, I continued to lean in, making Sam stare at me with a blush on his face and surprise on his eyes. How about a race? The word race made a slowly growing smirk appear over Sam's lips, mischief in his stare as he gazed into my eyes.
A race? Where?
I placed my finger on the end of his nose before jerking my thumb over at the surfboard building. Boop. No powers. That building.
What made you think you can beat me without me using my powers?
Well, we're on the sand. I pointed at the sand beneath our feet, reminding Sam of the difficult terrain we'd be on as we already sank a bit in the ground. Sam looked down and realized the difficulty of the challenge as his toes wiggled in the sand. Still, Sam looked back up at me with the same arrogant and playful smirk.
So what? I'll still win.
You really think so? I felt a rush of confidence rush through my body as I arched my back and pressed my chest up against Sam's in an act of intimidation. Sam grinned and leaned his head towards mine, touching his nose to mine.
I know so, doofus.
Then, let's go! I gave a peck on Sam's cheek, but knowing he would be stunned for a half of a second before bolting towards the surfboard building. Sam stared at me, shaking out of the surprise attack before smirking and rushing after me. I laughed, looking back at Sam before focusing my sights on the finish line we had established. The sand beneath my feet was giving way with each step I took, but I pulled my legs up and continued forward. I didn't expect Sam to catch up so fast, grinning to me at my side and matching my stride.
How's it going, doofus?
Hey, no cheating! I barked, unbelieving at how much ground he had gained in the race. Sam leaned back and let out a bark of a laugh.
Not my fault you're having trouble.
Sam looked back at me and I grabbed my arm, pulling me towards him before ducking down, and I landed on his back piggyback style. Oh, that's awesome! Whoa!
Come on.
With a burst of energy rushing through her body, Sam sped up and raced like speeding a car towards the building. I gripped onto Sam tightly, laughing and accepting the loss I would have had in the race. Sam was indeed faster than me, but I still loved him anyway. My little vacation away from the world would be with sand, and me running along the sand and surfing the Hawaiian waves. I wouldn't wouldn't have had it any other way. Cute. Super energetic. Alright. And finally, we go with Matthew. Whee! Yes. I turned my head to Matthew, seeing him bounce on the balls of his feet in excitement. I couldn't help but feel energetic and excited for the day ahead of myself, just from the sight. Matthew and I had become our dynamic duo team, and being on a vacation with him was proven to be a fun adventure waiting to happen. As I looked at my wonderful incubus, Matthew turned to lock eyes with me and smiled. I smiled back, both of us gaining a boost of joy just from the exchange. Sam let a grin cross his lips as he walked over to Damien and gave him a simple smack on the back.
Hey, Damien, want to learn how to swim since we're here?
Huh?
Aww. Before Damien could reply, Sam ducked down and lifted Damien over his shoulder, walking towards the water. The poor thing.
God, Sam, put me down.
Sure, I'll put you down when we get to the water.
Oh. Mean. James and Eric shook their heads, watching the pair as Sam marched towards the ocean with Damien flailing on his arm. Matthew chuckled nervously before walking over to me with his cute, goofy grin.
So, what you want to do?
I smiled at Matthew before looking to the water, letting some ideas cross my mind. We could indeed swim around the ocean and enjoy the water. At the same time, I felt like waiting a bit before taking a dip. I took Matthew's hand and gently pulled him towards the coastline. Let's walk for a bit, then we can go swimming. Matthew nodded in agreement before walking alongside me towards the edge of the water. We walked along the foamy tips of the waves as we basked into the bright sunlight. I had never felt so relaxed until then. I guess I truly needed the vacation after all. I was glad to spend it with the man I loved, and that fact made me release a sweet sigh of joy.
Huh? What is it?
Huh? Matthew turned to me with a curious smile. I furrowed my eyebrows in confusion for a moment before realizing the sight that had come out of my mouth. I then shook my head and laughed. Sorry, I was just thinking of how wonderful today is. We're in Hawaii and we're spending the day out. It's really nice. Matthew seemed to agree as he nodded with a smile and stretched his hands up to cover his face with a shadow.
Yeah, it's really nice. Oh, kinda hot.
Wait, are we gonna have to, maybe sunscreen? I had to admit it was a bit warm. Then again, we were on an island beach. It was expected to be hot, enticing me forward to take a dip in the water. However, as he took a moment to himself, Matthew grinned and pointed over my shoulder.
Whoa, what's that?
What? I'm not falling for that, but I'm going to fall for that anyways. I hesitantly turned over my shoulder to look, only to see the tree line of the beach, and feeling a wave of confusion hit my brain. What was he wanting to show me? As I turned back around, however, Matthew held up 2 tan cups filled with peach-orange colored ice cream. Ooh, yum! Whoa! How did... Matthew handed one of the cups to me and smiled sweetly before starting it from his own. The ice cream looked amazing, but I could tell that something was different. Did you conjure that up? Not conjure, but heard about it. What kind of ice cream is this?
Goody goody. It's like soda ice cream. It's really good. I promise.
Oh, okay. I watched him take another bite of his goody goody before nodding and looking down at my own cup. It looked fluffy and light, so I took my spoon and tried it. He was right. The flavor was soft and the texture was melt in your mouth, mixed with the fluffy cloud-like feel. Even more so, it was refreshing and I felt gently cold waves run through my body from the simple taste. This is really good.
I know, right? It's so yummy.
Matthew and I shared a small laugh and smile as we enjoyed our dessert. The combination was perfect. The light breeze and the cool goody goody mixed with the sight of the ocean and the fresh air. Today was a good day. Today is such a good day. causing me to look over at my fluffy-haired incubus. What? Oh, I got a little something on my face.
I feel the same way. Being on a beach with the sweetest woman I know and eating really good ice cream is the best.
Aww. I pursed my lips and felt the blush attempting to invade my cheeks, causing Matthew's chuckles to evolve into laughter. I couldn't be stubborn for long and began to smile.
I love you so much. You know that?
And I love you too, Matthew. Matthew was indeed one of the most important people in my life, and to walk alongside with his smile made me excited for the day ahead. He was my joy and I was his. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm wondering... that was 5. Let me get back to you in a little bit, because I feel like I might be missing something, so... Right. Never mind, I think I figured it out. And all of them! It was true, I shared my love with them all, and for now, they all shared their love for me. I knew that one day I would have to choose one to be with, but for the time being, we were all bound together in an intricate web. Gazing at each boy, I felt a small bubble of joy flutter in my chest and grow with each gaze my sight landed on. I loved them, and I couldn't wait to spend the day with them all. What suddenly brought me out of my happy stupor was Sam vanishing from his spot and reappearing where Matthew was, holding his younger brother up over his head. What the... Sam!
Ah! Hey! Anyone want to see a flying pipsqueak?
The poor thing!
Sam, I'm gonna kill you! Ah!
Splash. Before Matthew could finish, Sam vaulted Matthew towards the ocean, laughing wildly as his brother made a giant splash in the water's surface. Matthew! Oh no! I stepped forward to rush towards the ocean that stopped as Sam was suddenly grabbed by both James and Eric, each incubus taking hold of their younger brother. But wrist and on the side of his wrist.
What?
Cute display, Sam.
How about a reprise?
Okay, guys, I'm just gonna sit back and watch this happen.
Oh no, you don't!
Eric and James, smirking at their victim, managed to quickly hoist Sam up over their heads and shoot him into the water beside where Matthew had fallen in. The splash Sam made was twice as large, sending Matthew drifting away from his spot. Sammy, on the other hand, laughed as James and Eric began to walk towards the shoreline, following his two eldest brothers. I couldn't help but watch in curiosity. James and Eric began to wade into the water, moving towards Sam and Matthew. Damien took his time, very cautiously stepping into the water and following along. Was he afraid of the ocean? I stared as Matthew shot up from the water and body slammed Sam under the surface, making a chaotic splash in the ocean. As the three other brothers approached, they had to duck and dodge the water cresting from the fight. How was I lucky enough to wind up with them? Thinking back on how we all met, I could still only imagine how I ended up going to the Hawaiian beach with 5 really hot guys. I was the luckiest girl in the entire world.
Hey! Doofus!
Oh, that's so cute! My thoughts were broken at the sound of the Sam's voice. I looked up quickly, coming back to reality as I saw the 5 boys stare back at me in expectancy.
Are you gonna come in or are we gonna have to drag you over?
No, I don't want to be dragged in there. I'll just make my way over there.
Let's go! The water's great!
Might as well come on in, miss. You'll enjoy it.
We promise we won't roughhouse with you. Unless you'd like us to.
No, thank you.
Come on.
Okay. The smile that grew on my face, I'm sure, was brighter than the sun. I was going to spend my day and my life with these wonderful boys. Guys. Whatever. Boys, guys, same thing. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I believe I'm missing one more. It was not mentioned to me that there was another one. Well, I knew I was missing someone. I just didn't know who. But apparently, there's this little thing right here that I never even saw before. So I gotta click that. Gosh, frustrated me.
You were right, Sero. The beach was actually a marvelous idea. What a cozy place, Hawaii. A perfect getaway from royal duties.
Alright, now I got all of them. Yay, accomplishments. Nice that they're out and about. A good time.
I am glad you are enjoying yourself, my love. However, must you glamour yourself as a human? We are the only ones on this particular island.
Do you not approve?
I never said that.
Then what is the problem? I think this garment looks good on me with my human glamour skin. It clashes with my Lilith armor.
Zaire.
Don't tell me you're infatuated with my choice of clothes.
And if I am, there are many people who would fall to their knees at the sight of you.
You know I would only accept your swooning, my heart.
But this doesn't... Is this canon? Cause... shoot, I don't know. I'm just gonna forget about everything else and just take this as it is. When they live happily ever after.
Zaire, you cannot keep a glamour spell up for long. We still need enough energy to return.
Relax. We'll return to the demon world soon. I'm sure the council is taking care of things while their king and queen have a moment to themselves. Besides, if I need energy, I'm sure you can make up the difference.
As you say then.
Still, I wonder how that human is doing.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!